This is Mac OS Ken.
Experiential expectations. Berkshire Hathaway sells a bit of Apple, and CarPlay features ahead. It is Thursday, the 19th of February, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Clean My Mac, keeping Macs clean since 2008. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. This show is also sponsored by NordLayer, working to secure your network and block threats to your business. Sounds kind of big, doesn't it? Securing your network, blocking threats. Yeah, it's not as big as the threats that are out there. Still, there's all the new equipment and all the money you gotta spend. And not with NordLayer. It brings VPN, access control, and threat protection to your team, starting at just $8 per user per month. As for the new equipment, don't need that either. NordLayer is a layer of protection that works with the gear you've already got. That's desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones across every major platform. And it's getting stronger all the time. NordLayer has partnered with CrowdStrike to bring Falcon endpoint protection to small and mid-sized businesses. That is your business getting enterprise-grade security that's simple to deploy and manage. They got special pricing for teams with 100 seats or more and an exclusive offer for your team. Get up to 22% off NordLayer yearly plans plus 10% on top with offer code MacOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. Try it risk-free with their 14-day money-back guarantee. NordLayer. Toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code MacOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. Hey, do you remember what I said my gut was telling me about the Apple Media Experience, to which select members of the press are being invited? Mac Rumors ran a piece Monday that had the Cupertino Company inviting a precious few to events in New York, London, and Shanghai on Wednesday, the 4th of March, with precious little explanation. The Mac Rumors piece said the announcement of several new Apple products is believed to be imminent, including the iPhone 17e, MacBook Pro with M5 Pro and M5 Max chips, 8th generation iPad Air, 12th generation iPad, and more. I had said that sounded like enough products for a big event, something like 2021's spring-loaded presentation. With smaller events, though, spread across the planet, and with a weird start time of 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, a big streaming event seems unlikely. So do you remember what I said my gut was telling me? Oh, don't worry, I'll remind you. I had said earlier this week that my immediate thought was press releases with hands-on for media in the 3 blessed cities. And I'm apparently not the only one who thought that. On Tuesday, after I posted, just saying, Daring Fireball's John Gruber posted, so my spitball guess is that they announce all these products via newsroom press releases day by day, like say the iPhone 17e on Monday, new iPads on Tuesday, and new MacBooks on Wednesday. And then the experience will be hands-on things with in-person demos. Spread the announcements out across a few days, but then have in-person events for members of the media to get a hands-on experience with all of them, station by station, without needing to produce an Apple event keynote film. Now, this wouldn't be the first time Apple's done this. A piece from Apple Insider says the company spread a week of Mac announcements across 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, press releases in October of 2024. They also released a whopping 8 products via press release back in 2019. That was a week before an event launching such services as Apple Card, Apple News Plus, Apple Arcade, and Apple TV Plus? That's weird sounding. So there is precedent. then there's Gruber's guess, and then there's my gut. I'm not saying we're right. I am saying if we are right, please do me a favor and remember, you heard it here first. Berkshire Hathaway founder and former CEO Warren Buffett officially retired at the end of last year. What did he do on his way out the door? Sold more Apple. Or maybe somebody else did that. 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece Wednesday that had the Oracle of Omaha trimming Berkshire Hathaway's Apple take. Well, again, it might have been him, might have been somebody else. Citing a Reuters report, the piece says Berkshire shed 4% of its Apple holdings in the December quarter. That said, it is unclear whether that trigger was pulled by departing CEO Buffett, then incoming CEO Greg Abel, or portfolio manager Ted Wexler. Whatever the case, it was hardly a big move. I mean, it would be by human standards, but Berkshire Hathaway is titanic. Apple is still the firm's biggest holding. The investment firm currently sits on about $62 billion worth of Apple stock. The drip, drip, drip of new OS features continues. 2 pieces from Mac Rumors reveal hints of CarPlay changes hidden in the latest beta of iOS 26.4. First up, video in CarPlay. Because what's safer than putting moving images in the dashboard? Wait, I know this one. Never mind. The piece says Apple said at last year's WWDC that it planned to let CarPlay show video via AirPlay, provided the car wasn't being driven at the time. Skip ahead however many months, and there are signs of that in this week's beta. Signs, though maybe not ready for prime time. The piece says the feature is not yet visible to users, but software developer Thomas Dye managed to get it working to some extent in Xcode's CarPlay simulator on the Mac. Said to be sort of clunky. That, plus the fact that it's hidden, has Mac Rumors thinking the feature could get held back until iOS 26.5 or later. The other feature found for CarPlay, support for AI chatbots. Because what's safer than chatting to a sycophantic cyborg while speeding along at 70-something? Wait, I know this one. Never mind. With iOS 26.4, says the second piece from Mac Rumors, CarPlay users will be able to use third-party chatbots with CarPlay. AI services like Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT will be accessible through the CarPlay system for the first time. It'll only be able to give answers, not actually take control. The piece says the new integration will let CarPlay users access voice-based apps like ChatGPT to ask questions hands-free, but the apps will not be able to control vehicle or iPhone functions. There also won't be a wake word option to activate a third-party application, so users will still need to open the app to use the chatbot. It's hip. It's now. It's silly. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Clean My Mac, your solution for care and control of your Mac. I mentioned earlier this week that Clean My Mac helps you update the apps you use and ditch the apps you do not. That may sound odd. How hard is it to uninstall an application? Well, to get rid of all of an app can actually be kind of tough. Apps don't just live in the applications folder. Bits and pieces are installed all over your Mac. That can be great for apps' optimal performance, but kind of a pain when what you want is to get rid of all of those bits and pieces. Clean My Mac takes care of it. It'll clear leftover data and hidden files that are just taking up space and slowing down the works, keeping them from slowing down your work. That, plus other features, make Clean My Mac the tool for controlling, optimizing, and maintaining your Mac. Find out for yourself. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. Make macOS Ken all caps in both cases. That way they know where you heard about it and you get the discount. Get tidy today. Try 7 days free and use my code macOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/macOSKen. Again, macOS Ken is all caps, both places. Use code macOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/macOSKen. Apple Music Connect is back. The name, not the functionality. According to Cult of Mac, the original Apple Music Connect, launched in 2015, is a way for artists to share content directly with fans. It functions something like a social network baked into Apple Music. Never gained much traction, and Apple shut it down at the end of 2018. Isn't it weird that they would repurpose the name? Well, actually, no. Who remembers the original Apple Music Connect? I know I didn't, and I sort of pay attention to Apple stuff. And you got to admit, reusing the name does show Apple's commitment to recycling. So yeah, the name is back, though it's not something most of us can access. In its current iteration, the cult says Apple Music Connect is a centralized hub designed for record labels, music distributors, and industry partners rather than fans. Think Apple Podcasts Connect, but for cool people. The piece says Apple Music Connect brings together a range of existing tools under one roof, giving music industry professionals a single destination for their dealings with Apple Music. I'd tell you more, but if you're in the industry, by which I mean the business, you probably already know. And if you're not, you can't sign up for it. But at least you know. And finally today, with exactly 1 month before its premiere, Apple TV released a trailer on Wednesday for the psychological thriller series Imperfect Women. Imperfect. Based on Arminita Hall's novel of the same name, the Apple TV press release says Imperfect Women examines a crime that shatters the lives of a decades-long friendship of 3 women. The unconventional thriller explores guilt and retribution, love and betrayal, and the compromises we make that alter our lives irrevocably. As the investigation unfolds, so does the truth about how even the closest friendships may not be what they seem. Kerry Washington, Elizabeth Moss, and Kate Mara play the 3 friends. They're joined in the cast by Joel Kinnaman, Corey Stoll, Leslie Odom Jr., and others. Washington and Moss also serve as executive producers on the series. The first 2 episodes hit Apple TV on Wednesday, the 18th of March. You can catch the trailer now on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by NordLayer. Toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code macOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Clean My Mac. Try 7 days free and use my code macOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macOSKen.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.